Hello there, Internet. Mogwai here, and I got another list of Runeterra video for you guys today. And today, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna play some more TALIYAH ZIGGS. I know I've been on a bit of a Bandle City truce, and what I mean by this is that I haven't been uploading any Bandle City decks for the past few days because Bandle City is very popular as a region right now, and I figured some of you are saturated with it and would like to see other regions shine a little bit more, and some perhaps forgotten archetypes and some new ones as well. But I couldn't help myself because I really love the landmark archetypes. Not only TALIYAH ZIGGS, but I also love messing around with Xerath. I love the Arsenal as a win condition. I love Herald of the Magus as a win condition as well, which is what we're going to be focusing on today. And thinking about it, I may be playing some Frozen Thralls as well, because I do feel in general, landmark decks are very underrated this meta. They are harder to build around to a certain extent. Though generalizing a statement like that is never really smart, but it is not an easy deck to build. It's also not an easy archetype to pilot in general, right? And I just really love what they've done with the new card type that at the very beginning was just a very basic binary sort of thing and introduced into the game, but little by little it's been finding a proper identity. And with Bandle City and this expansion, I feel like we finally have a good enough card pool to promote and properly play this strategy. So without further ado, let's talk about Fire and Sand. Why it's called Fire and Sand? Because honestly, I ran out of names. My creativity just plummeted, and I just, went with this. I think you guys can, add 1 + 1 and realize what the name is inspired by, I guess. Fire and Sand. Oh, wow. Yeah. So, let's stop talking about that. Let's start talking about this deck. So this is a new take. I'm not sure, honestly, how similar it is to my other ZIGGS TALIYAH deck, because I honestly do not remember what it looks like, because I just built this deck from the ground up again with a specific objective in mind. Like, I wanted a solid mid-range list that could go fast, but could also slow down and match up against other faster decks as well. Like just a solid, flexible mid-range deck that can take on anything and doesn't get completely destroyed by anything specifically. And I wanted to really exacerbate certain synergies within this archetype and push for what I feel is the most efficient way at closing out games with a champion combination such as this one. And that would be Herald of the Magus. I believe this is the biggest reason as to why you should be combining ZIGGS and TALIYAH. You guys see I'm also playing the Arsenal in this deck, which is something that I've spoken about in the past. I still don't know exactly where I lie. I feel like this card is too good not to run, at least as a one-off, maybe as a two-of, like we're playing here. Because even though we want to end the game a little bit quicker, and turn 8 is actually a bit slow in this current environment. Like, there are some matchups in which the Arsenal can be a liability, but ultimately is such a powerhouse play that can allow us to close out the game. And I feel like it's too good not to play in a deck in which we are focusing so much on destroying landmarks, right? Like, we destroy a lot of landmarks here, ladies and gentlemen, and that's why we're playing the Arsenal. But like I mentioned, the Arsenal is more of a key card in decks like Zillion Xerath, for example. Here, it's all about Herald of the Magus. Giving Overwhelm to both ZIGGS and TALIYAH and then enhancing their stat lines by 4 is a very big deal. Like, it's actually very efficient. Both of these champions shares, a part of their ties to landmarks, they share a lot of things in common. Like, they generate skills that deal damage to their blockers and potentially to the Nexus as well. So combining that with more stats and Overwhelm allows us to very easily close out games with this 5-drop alone. That also gives us a 4/4 body in the process that can be used to trade. It's a pretty decent stat line, obviously below average for 5 mana, but good enough to put in some work and allow us to not sacrifice too much momentum while setting up the kill. As you guys can see, our early game is comprised of some pretty staple cards at this point. Inventive Chemist. We don't really play this deck without Inventive Chemist, like a 1-drop that spawns a landmark that will eventually self-destruct itself. Just does so much for both ZIGGS and TALIYAH, while also providing us with a 1-drop, that can trade into other units, which is actually very important. So there's a lot of very fast-paced shit going around, right? We got Rock Hopper as well, another staple, getting the Roiling Sands in there. Endless Devout, making use of our Roiling Sands generated by Rock Hopper or Unraveled Earth. We can use this 3/3 stat line to trade into all those, get some good value out of it as we let it go down eventually, and the Sarcophagus is generated, and then we can play something like the Desert Naturalist onto this and generate our most, or go for our highest tempo play, which can lead to for 4 mana, a 2/4, 5/4, and a 5/3 all being spawned at once, which can, in a way, allow us to catch up with some other strategies that may be outpacing us up until that point, because unfortunately that's one of the downsides of playing stuff like Unraveled Earth. We're playing 3 mana for a card that's drawing our card, so we're cycling, but we're not really spawning any unit, any sort of blockers or anything on the board. So we are missing out on some very serious momentum that can be very scary against decks like Poppy ZIGGS, for example. So being able to catch up with Desert Naturalist is what keeps this deck viable, in my opinion, amongst other things, right? So we got Rite of the Arcane for very key removal. Dealing 4 damage to units is really good right now. We get to kill Vhagar, Senna, Poppy, opposing ZIGGS, and just a lot of stuff, honestly. Like I have a hard time thinking of like early to mid game champions that we don't kill with this card, and it also allows us to synergize more with our landmark destruction process, and is ultimately very neat, especially in conjunction with stuff like Explosive Minefield. Like Explosive Minefield on the board, and then on Rite of the Arcane can allow us to eliminate a unit and stun their strongest attacker all in one. Speaking of Explosive Minefield, this card also gives us really good utility against elusive decks and stuff like Scion from Draven Scion, which makes the matchup favorable in my eyes, as we also have a one-off of Minimorph for certain threats. And ultimately, that, ladies and gentlemen, is the deck list right there. I like the one-off of Quicksand as well. It can be very, very potent, but I did want to prioritize a full set of Ancient Hourglass, because this card can not only be used to preserve our champions, but there's also some very neat tricks with it. Like we can use it onto Herald of the Magus, and when it's spawned again, we get the boost again because of the summoning effect. And we can also use it before playing a TALIYAH from hand to play TALIYAH, duplicate it, and maybe get more copies of a specific champion. So that's essentially it. And yeah, I've been rambling quite a bit about the list. I really do enjoy this archetype a lot, and I think I've said that numerous times throughout this video. But to be fair, whenever I share a deck on this channel, it tends to be a deck that I really like to play. And I just like this game, man. I like card games. I've been playing card games all my life, and the ability that I have in this specific game to just constantly brew and just constantly explore different ideas, having so many champions to work with, I've never really like I'm not trying to bash on other games, right? But I was looking into like the Magic meta right now, and there's like 3 decks, and they are like way ahead of everything else in power level. I feel like sometimes we don't look too much on our surroundings regarding other games within the genre, and we don't really appreciate just how much variety there is in the Legends of Runeterra, and how blessed we are to have such a great meta game. There's always going to be things to complain about. There's always going to be things that are going to be annoying. But it's important to focus on the positives, and I really am enjoying this game right now, and I felt like it was important to share. So yeah, I'm going to stop talking at this point, because this deck tech is just like 8 minutes. What the fuck am I doing? Love ya. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoy the matches. I'll see you tomorrow. Of course, a deck that we're definitely used to running into at this point. Zoe Nami. What do we do to beat Zoe Nami? Well, I don't know. I mean, we have Endless Devout with Unraveled Earth. Because normally, Endless Devout is not a great unit here, because having it die is something that they can avoid. But with Double Roiling Sands, I can use it to just slam into anything that's vulnerable. Try to beat them down that way. So I think I'm going to go with this. I'm only going to weigh the Arsenal. I'm going to keep everything else. No, I'm actually going to drop the Endless Devout as well, because I just realized I don't attack on turn 1, which means I'd rather have stuff like Rite of the Arcane. We're always very happy to see Invented Chemist in the opener. We hit him with our idea, and we pass. Just making sure we're recording. Double Trouble. I don't need to Unraveled Earth now. I'd rather do so afterwards. Alright. He gets a Fearsome unit, which allows him to ping me, but that's fine. I gotta think here. Alright, so he's gonna carry over that spell mana to aim to be playing into Nami next round. So next round, I do want access to the Rite of the Arcane, or just Minimorph, to be honest. Yeah, I can't really do anymore. I think I'm gonna have to mini-morph. Okay. Could he still have a Nami? I mean, if he plays Nami after this, the problem is he plays Nami, he still has access to... I think I can, like, not play ZIGGS here, though.
What does that thing do? It explodes, of course.
I don't really need to...
Light the fuse. I got it.
If he has a... Let's think here.
Throw him away. One for you and one for you.
I'm gonna play the Desert Naturalist, level up ZIGGS this way, while also spreading out and working for an open attack, essentially.
I just can't wait. Here we go.
We don't really care about the stun here. We just want to level up and have an actual board state to threaten our opponent with. I think this open attack is good enough because even if he gets this buffed, leveled up ZIGGS will deal with it. And then I have mini morph backup for whatever comes after. So we attack like this. This plays around some Blessed Vigor as well. Alright, goes through. Gifts from Beyond. Nami could be going down here. I don't really need to... I just need to Preservarium. Cycle through my deck a little bit before my opponent. Like, if they play Nami, as soon as they play Nami, I'm gonna be mini morpher. But they had to have had, like, have top decked her. Because otherwise... Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think that they would. That's fine. Okay, now we don't have to worry about Nami. And now that we don't have to worry about Nami, things change. Alright. I mean, I definitely do want to make use of my... Maybe it's best to just play you instead. Because I can always mini morph into that next round potentially. Herald of the Magus is pretty neat. Okay, so still no Nami to be seen. By developing this, I spread out a little bit more. Any spell that I see without an engine on board, I'm happy to see. Wiggly Burblefish. Alright, the cavalry's here. I think I'm ready to Red of the Arcane. No, not yet. What spell have I played? Rolling Sands, right? Rolling Sands. I think I'm ready to just Rite of the Arcane now. which will trigger ZIGGS. This gives my opponent... This gives Raging Goblin here the ability to get this now. Quickly Verbal Fish. Guess we can take a hit here. And now we play the Herald of the Magus. Oh. Alright. What other 1-drops could they have pulled? I mean, now with Spell Thief, they have access to Rite of the Arcane as well, but they don't have access to anything else. I think playing another Herald of the Magus is the way to go here. Unless I'm missing something that I should be playing around. But I can't lethal them anyways. I could lethal them if I just attack here, but they could have some sort of health gain as well. So I just want to play another one. They'll up another body, set this up at range. Okay, guess, okay, Gravitum. Gravitum. Yep.
I'm going to get him.
Okay, so there's Zoe. I can always mini-morph in response to like an emergency. Alright, so again, Roiling Sands or Rite of the Arcane? Roiling Sands. It's expensive though.
By darkness.
The problem with this is I can't explosive minefield afterwards. But I can, what I can do is go for the Rite of the Arcane.
Come on, come on, come on.
So it was definitely a match where they took a long while to find Nami, but we had the answer from the get-go, right? And we were able to deal with Shelly prior. I gotta play more around glimpse or gifts from beyond. I confuse the card all the time. Because I was thinking about Crescent Strike, but I don't know why I don't think about Gravitum. It's such an like, it's a very, very common play that you can expect from them. And I was playing around Guiding Touch, but I think I should be playing around both. Like, no matter what he does now, he should not have lethal on me. There's no way, without Nami on board.
I got a short fuse.
My game plan is simple from this point onwards. We want to use Ancient Hourglass on the Herald of the Magus, so when we bring it back, we'll get the SIG just to ridiculous levels and hope that they don't have something like a Hush, so we can kill them off. But we have to open attack, because it's more likely they have another Gifts from Beyond than they have a Hush. And Hush is pretty much the only thing that stops it, right? Ooh. I want to make use of their mini manatee right there. And I honestly just want to do this, because this way I can stop their block, and this way I also prevented one of their elusives to hit my Nexus. I could potentially survive another attack depending on my draws here. But the plan is simple. Limit their card draw as much as possible so that if they have like a one-off of Hush, they struggle more finding it. No matter what they get off this super cool start chart, they cannot use it to detain my attack. Not an open attack. Naturally, they can get a Crescent Strike. This is a champion, so you can't Equinox it. We ping them, we hit them, and we go in. Even with Hush at this point, even with Hush alone, does not do enough. Oh, what is that? Oh wait, now Spell Thief. Spell Thief into Minimorph. But then if that's the case, they have 3 more mana to spare, and we still ping them with this. Beautiful! Got up! Nice! King Draven. But he's not playing Draven. Desert Naturalist is really needed in this matchup because we can just use it to destroy their Bandle trait. So we don't have to worry too much about that win condition. We just got to worry about, you know, their actual storming capabilities. I feel like this is a matchup where Endless Devout can definitely shine. I want to keep ZIGGS in my opener as well, even though it's 2/3 drops, but I don't like saying no to a champion. And we always, I don't know what it is with me and Inventive Chemist, man, but during my, like, when I play test the shit out of this deck, like, every time I'd manage to get her in my opener. It's just one of those cases where it really does feel good to be me. If you don't draw her yourself in your opener, I don't know what to say to you, but it sucks, man. Must suck.
Not flammable? Is that a challenge?
Cause goddamn, it feels good when you have this one drop in this deck. Like leading off with this, setting up a landmark on turn 1 is just, it's the tits. All right, let's go.
I got an idea.
Let's open before EEA comes down and just, you know, does annoying things. Oh, we got poked. To be expected. Ooh, Roiling Sands makes this interesting.
Together we are united.
I don't want too vulnerable like a potential mini spawn. We're pretty protected against the Loot Travelers as of right now. We can do this. Then pass. Set up the traps. See what gets caught in them. And then use our stats accordingly. Alright. I like the idea of just dropping ZIGGS, to be honest. Because ZIGGS can just allow me to clear that for free. Even though there is an argument for just developing the Preservarium instead, but I like to spread out. I don't think I have to be in a massive rush.
This'll be a blast.
Because essentially ZIGGS onto this is just a free kill, right? So we kind of like negate the free value of this in a way, even though it does stall us a bit. So it's still like, there's no negating the full Loping Telescope value like ever. But we can nullify it as best as we can. What is this? What could happen here? Maybe a double combination, like a Pokey Stick and a Ravenous Flock to deal with this.
Smell something burning?
Oh. Well, doesn't that feel like a sack of... I'm gonna say like a sack of shit. Like that's... I really dislike this card. Alright, we got our Endless Devout Silence, that cry every time. Let's at least get a good hit off here. They could play a Poppy. I mean, this prevents us, or prevents them from dropping Poppy here. How relevant is that?
Come on.
I think it's... preventing them from playing Poppy is a pretty big deal here. I'm just gonna pass. Like, they can't play Poppy. They care over the spell mana, which is fine, but then as soon as they play Poppy, we can just eliminate her. Oh, that's dragged into the sands. I think we have to persevere him here. Or we can just minefield now. Could still minefield. Alright, so no Poppy. I'll take the hit from this. 7 cards in hand. Alright, now they're setting it up.
There's a rock, dude. I just know the hero's around here somewhere. I'm going to get him. You best believe I don't play.
I'm gonna slow down a bit. But I do still want that card draw, so I'm gonna sacrifice some mana gem instead of that. Alright. Alright.
Today's the day I find that hero.
What about just delaying again? Just hitting this again. With 2, with 3. We're at 6 next round again, which does limit our plays. Let's think here. If I play you, the amount of value that he's just gonna generate off of this is absurd. I can't allow that. I need to kill this Vandal sitting here. I need him to like actually spend mana on his plays.
Goggles, powder, matches, let her rip! Time to bust out some combustion.
We're definitely paying the price for these like double removals here using our mana gems. Because now we can't play this and this. Which makes things awkward. He's gonna spread out really wide, and I don't know if we can take it. I don't know if we can handle it. This Equinox is really what did us dirty. Because this Equinox prevented us from getting the sarcophagus, which would have been incredible with Desert Naturals. Like it would have allowed us to legitimately. It would have allowed us to legitimately rebuild our board here. Now we're starting to do some damage, but at this point, as you can see, we are at the mercy. This mini morph may surprise my opponent and buy us a little bit of time, but oof. It's too much, right? Don't really have anything that can stop this attack. Yeah, that's smart of him. Did you? They got us. King Draven prevails. MBMs. I don't think I could have done much different. I think the Equinox won in the game, honestly. Just loping telescope, doing things. Darkness. We definitely don't need the explosive minefield anytime soon, even though it can be used to halt the, it can potentially be used to halt. I'm gonna move it away. I'm gonna drop the Desert Naturalist as well. I think I'm gonna do a full mulligan. There we go. All right.
Now where did I leave that beaker?
It could have a vile feast.
Only I can command darkness. Only I.
But if they really wanted to develop this, then at least I can make use
I am wearing my goggles.
of Triple Chemist. Force trade, push some good damage, and set up 3 landmarks that are gonna go boom boom, which is gonna really speed up my level up for both champions. And the requirement for Herald of the Magus as well. The downside is I can't use Unraveled Earth this round.
That egg. Did it move?
But that's honestly fine. We can just pass.
No.
One bomb goes off. And now we do this. We play Rolling Sands. Easy level up for TALIYAH. And now I can't play Veigar. Oh, let me correct myself there. He can play Veigar. Or then we'll do this.
And I thought there was something good to see. Hey, wake up the hammer! I see something.
Use the Rock Bear to Dragon Veigar, and Stress Defense could save him. Otherwise, we knock him out. And they just fire back with the Darkness. That's completely fine. Another ping. Drop him down to 9.
We made
Well, okay, mini morph, that's good.
Did it.
Just for a second, I thought. I can always stun. I can TALIYAH as well. I can stun. No.
Hey, watch out for the rock tubes, you maniac!
I don't have enough space.
Watch out for me! Wah!
Do I have to?
You ain't gotta do anything.
Together, we are stronger than stone, faster than the wind.
This level up animation is just,
Earth to catch me.
Or me.
it's so detailed, it's so well done. I never get tired of it. So the plan is simple, we play TALIYAH, and we profit. We're also working for that arsenal as well, as, you know, with these back-to-back Rolling Sands, like, we're getting to 6 keywords, and this comment, like, we got some good stuff going here. We also have an Ancient Hourglass, we can counter removal. And if my opponent plays something like Ixtali Sentinel, first of all, they can't play Darkness that round anyways, and it'll be trapped in the Rolling Sands, which means we can just hunt it down. We can't say no to this though, right?
Turn the stones.
I get one less damage, but I get to preserve my board. This is my best option, though.
All rocks erode eventually.
What if I go for a Rite of the Arcane onto this? No, I lose my ability to... I could push for lethal, but...
Threading a needle.
Withering Will is an answer here. Okay, mini morph.
Go away.
It's funny that this still works this way. So it's good to know that mini morph is not like an immediate counter to TALIYAH, yeah? Drop him down to 2, which is fantastic. Gonna pass here. We have a lot of ways to navigate around lifesteal, amongst other things.
I will shake. What is that for you?
And we will do our best to play around, yeah. Gotcha. Oh no, she's a vanity now. Grab it, Ted. Plunder. All right. Full mulligan. We want to see our early curve as much as we can. You know, Unraveled Earth is a nice card to have, but in this matchup, we want to prevent them from plundering, right? From leveling up their champions. That should be your main approach whenever you face this deck. If you can slow down the level up for Gangplank and Sejuani, you take out a huge portion of their late game powers. I want to say power and prowess at the same time, and I said powers. Hashtag powers. Inventive Chemist? Alright, no such thing, but it's not the end of the world, because Quicksand could actually have some neat implications here, and we don't see a unit or anything.
I'll burn what I've done.
If it's made of sand, I can ride.
If he wants to deal with this, it has to be Make It Rain, which he'll lose for a round in which he doesn't attack, so that's good for us. Now what we want to do, though... Oh, now you're coming in? I definitely want to play Endless Devout. Get this value as early as possible. Go that listen. This may seem weird, right? But what I'm trying to do is I have a feeling he has a Make It Rain. And in order for him to get value out of the Make It Rain, he would have to go for preempt. It would force him to block with that 2-1. And if he preserves the other unit, it's the one that has vulnerable, so I can easily dispose of it later, right? So I think, well, that attack may come off weird because I do want this thing to die eventually, right? But I actually want to make as much use as I can of the 3/3 stat line. Like right here, I stop this guy's attack with this thing. If I play Inventive Chemist, I give him one hell of a Make It Rain.
This'll be a blast.
So I want to play ZIGGS first instead. And now I'll play you.
Little booms are just as good as big ones.
Yeah, but the big ones are, well...
Bigger. Alright. This prevents Gangplank on curve, giving me several options as well. Again, we completely shut down their level up. We succeeded at that. I mean, we got a little bit lucky with them not having a 1-drop initially. They found that afterwards. I think. Didn't look at their hand. Maybe they were trying to surprise. I don't know. Maybe they were trying to like enable the plunder some way. I'm not sure exactly what the case is here. Like the case is, do I attack now? I don't believe I do. I believe I just pass.
Hello, new friend.
All right, and now we do go in.
Throw him away!
I got an idea.
Actually, we keep this in the back. like, hey, you want to trade your Grifter into the Endless Avowal? You know, like I'm making really good use of the stat line before it goes down. That's how you get value out of this card, you know? You don't rush killing it. You make your opponent have to kill it. And they finally get their first level progression. Not that worried about Black Market Merchant, just because... I don't really have a good target for Rider of the Arcane right now, to be honest. I just want to keep on making use of this. Like, I can Desert Naturalist this round, potentially. 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 cards in hand. One more card than us. 2 of those cards are from our own deck. So, things that have to play around. I believe I only have a one-off of Quicksand. Mini-Morph could be a thing. Ancient Hourglass could be a thing. Rider of the Arcane could be a thing. Rolling Sands could be a thing. There's some cards that are useless against me. Or for him, specifically, because they're very synergy dependent. But there are other cards that are more... I wish I just gave him an Arsenal, to be honest. Like, that would be hilarious. Because we're not facing PNZ or Bando City here. We don't have to worry about... Travelers, get rid of this thing.
On the trigger.
I want to keep you healthy, so I'm just gonna get this trade going. All right.
Sun's beneath me and winds behind me.
Nice selections.
What a shame for you!
Goggles, powder, matches, let it rip!
It's going crazy with these merchants.
Katina, you gotta see this new board!
Little busy now, Sammy. Later. Hey, wake up, you hammer!
Beautiful.
Yeah, you don't want to ask me.
Sir, you're right. Okay, we could go for the Rider of the Arcane here, but there's no point. We're just gonna... Okay, Reservarium. Alright, so that's one of the cards. There's 2 more. I want to keep this Ancient Hourglass. Beautiful. Beautiful! Destroy their draw. That's the second card right there. Alright. That one was 2 mana, which means they got a reduction from this thing, but it wasn't the last one that they drew. Oh, beautiful. Look at all that damage, though! Just going in.
India needs you to pay up. You made choices.
Can't steer!
Boys, get yours.
I'll shoot the wings off a village boss.
Now we play Rolling Sands with ZIGGS on the board. We can continue to ping at him. And then we have the Arsenal to look forward to. Man, I'm surprised we're able to like... I felt like we dominated this game. They lagged a little bit in their opening, but I mean, it's not like they didn't have 1 drops and 2 drops. You know, they missed the Legions once, but they got a lot of value out of their merchants as well.
I rarely forget.
There he is. We play Herald of the Magus. Because... reasons.
Whatever you need.
Oh shit, it actually happened! No, let me play mine! Let me play mine! Oh, god damn it! I shouldn't have emoted.
Don't worry. I brought my own fireworks.
I should not have emoted.